Good day to everybody out there to see thy wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water. And Donald Trump launches strikes against Yemen's Houthis, Houthis, and warns Iran. I don't know how to pronounce that. Houthis. Um, so the story is reported here. March 15th, U.S. President Donald Trump launched military strikes against Yemen's Houthis on Saturday over the group's attacks against ships in the Red Sea, warning hell with rain down upon you if they did not stop targeting commercial vessels and U.S. warships. Trump also warned Iran, the Houthis' main backer, that it needed to immediately stop supporting the group. He said if Iran threatened the United States, America will hold you fully accountable and we won't be nice about it. The strikes came just days after the Houthis announced plans to resume attacks on Israeli ships passing through the Red Sea and Arabian Seas, the Bab al-Mandab Strait and the Gulf of Aden, ending a period of relative calm starting in January with the Gaza ceasefire. The strikes came just days after the Houthis announced plans to resume attacks on Israeli ships passing through the Red Sea and Arabian Seas, the Bab al-Mandab Strait and the Gulf of Aden, ending a period of relative calm starting in January with Gaza ceasefire. The Houthis launched more than 100 attacks targeting shipping from November 2023, saying they were in solidarity with Palestinians over Israel's war with Hamas and Gaza. During that period, the group sank 2 vessels, seized another, and killed at least 4 seafarers in an offensive that disrupted global shipping, forcing firms to reroute to longer and more expensive journeys around southern Africa. The Houthi attack on American vessels will not be tolerated. We will use overwhelming lethal force until we have achieved our objective, Trump wrote. So, it's a war brewing, and Trump has launched strikes against Yemen. This is what's in the news today. Also, what's in the news today is there's going to be changes at the USPS, the United States Postal Service, which I consider a bank. It's going to be changes there. And what they are talking about is in February, the United States Postal Service announced it was rolling out new services standards designed to trim costs and save the agency at least $36 billion over the next decade. With finances in the red, it is a desperate push to keep the mail moving without bleeding money. USPS has been losing cash at an alarming rate, racking up over $100 billion in losses since 2007. Including $9.5 billion just in the past financial year, ending September 30th. Outgoing Postmaster General Luis DeJoy didn't mince words in November, warning that if drastic actions isn't taken, the Postal Service will either need a massive government bailout or risk collapsing as we know it. Cutting costs, he argued, is the only way to keep the agency from writing its own return to sender notice. USPS changes are coming. Starting April 1st, the United States Postal Service will begin rolling out new service standards. For most mail, delivery time frames won't change, while some items might arrive a bit faster and others a little slower. The Postal Service has been struggling for decades, and much of that stems from the rise of digital communication. With first-class mail volume plummeting by 80% since '97, USPS is now handling fewer letters than at any time since 1968. This failure to adapt, maybe that's because a lot of emailing and all that. This failure to adapt to changing times has cost a pretty penny to all taxpayers. In 2022, President Joe Biden threw the United States Postal Service a financial lifeline, approving $50 billion in relief spread over a decade. At the same time, Congress stepped in to wipe out a $10 billion loan, giving the agency some breathing room, but not a free pass. Back in 2021, USPS introduced an ambitious restructuring plan aimed at slashing $160 billion in projected losses over 10 years. While those efforts have made a dent, the agency still expects to lose around $80 billion in that time frame. It's a lot of money. Shaking up first-class mail to save billions. The USPS is rolling out a refined service standard for first-class mail to streamline operations and cut costs. Once these new standards take effect, the agency expects to save a staggering $36 billion over the next decade. The bulk of these savings will come from reducing transportation costs, optimizing mail processing, and making better use of real estate assets. But that's not the only change in motion. The ongoing Delivering for America plan has already trimmed $1.8 billion in annual transportation costs by eliminating redundant networks and optimizing the use of air and ground transport. Meanwhile, USPS has also slashed $45 million work hours, the equivalent of $2.3 billion in yearly savings. Meanwhile, USPS has also slashed 45 million work hours, the equivalent of $2.3 billion in yearly savings, by boosting plant efficiency and shutting down unnecessary facilities. It's not all about cuts, though. USPS has also seen a $3.5 billion annual revenue boost. Thanks to new and revamped product offerings, the agency is betting big on these changes to keep mail delivery sustainable in the long run. But only time will tell if this strategy delivers on its promise. It's a lot going on. USPS insists these changes are a must to keep operations running efficiently and secure the major cost savings needed for long-term financial stability, a requirement the USPS is legally bound to meet. Postmaster General Luis DeJoy didn't hold back in explaining the agency's challenges. For years, USPS has been weighed down by rigid service regulations and outdated business rules that haven't adapted to shifting mail volumes and delivery needs. This has led to inefficient and expensive operations that simply don't make sense anymore. DeJoy also pointed the finger at Congress, saying that for decades, and especially in the last 3 years, lawmakers have resisted operational reforms and blocked meaningful change. By rolling out these new service standards and the operational improvements that come with them, we're positioning USPS for a stronger, more modern future. The goal is to create a high-performing, financially stable agency that meets the legal and policy objectives set for us. With billions in projected savings on the line, USPS is betting big that these changes will deliver the results they need before their financial troubles reach the point of no return. So while they're saving money, we may be getting our mail late, or the mail we send out may be getting delivered late. So that's just something to keep in mind with the changes at the USPS. And also, of course, Trump launched strikes against Yemen's Houthis and warns Iran. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Honestly, I didn't hear much about this. Again, I don't watch much TV, so I just seen it online about the Trump strikes. Let me know what y'all think about that. Also, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. With that, everybody have a good day and enjoy your strong end. It's Saturday. Peace.